Hello everyone, and welcome to Vela Talk. Story 1 by do_round 6813. AITA for asking my girlfriend not to swim in the morning. We, 26M and 23F, rent a place from her family. Said place has a swimming pool. We have a 2.5-year-old. My brother and his girlfriend are visiting, 30 and 32. My girlfriend likes to swim in the morning from about 6 to 6:30, and then for another 10 to 15 minutes she swims with our daughter because it's a bonding experience as well as exercise for both of them. We've never had any complaints from neighbors. My girlfriend isn't exactly loud, but our daughter can be. Not every morning, and as much noise as you'd expect from a toddler. My brother's girlfriend asked if we'd stop this for just while they're staying due to noise, and the fact she's a light sleeper. Plus my girlfriend spends every Sunday in the pool, and she and my brother don't feel comfortable being around her in her swimming costume, but then said that the noise and not being able to sleep are important. She did ask very nicely. I joked at least she's wearing a swimming costume while you're here, but I did ask my girlfriend because I know my brother's girlfriend has complained for a while about her sleeping problem, but my girlfriend says it's a perfectly reasonable time, citing that she's silent till 6:30 and her house so until neighbors complain. But I just think it's an easy request to maybe change it from 6 to 6:30 to 6:30 to 7 or something. Well, she's upset with me and things are tense, but I knew had I not asked things would be awkward with family over such a simple thing. AITA, edit. I'm trying to read and respond. I won't be able to reply to all comments, but swimming costume is a UK term. I call them either swimming costume or swimsuit. Nav YTA. If your brother's girlfriend has an issue with your girlfriend being comfortable in her own home, she can leave. I don't think it has anything to do with the noise, but her insecurities. She can wear headphone or earplugs or something for this so-called noise. She shouldn't try to dictate how your girlfriend goes about her morning, and you're the a-hole for siding with her, and even going as far as asking your girlfriend to do something so ridiculous. Story 2 by Commercial Medium 85. AITA for not letting my boyfriend stay at my home while I'm not there. I bought my first townhouse recently, and my parents assisted me with the down payment. I have a few guidelines they'd like me to abide by until I can pay them back. One of those requests was that no one is moving into the house or hanging out there while I'm not home. I feel like these are completely fair requests and things that I actually agree with even if I didn't owe my parents money. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. We're serious, but it's been on the rocks lately for reasons that don't pertain to this. He typically spends the night with me 3 nights a week. I asked him if he wanted to stay tonight and reminded him that he would need to be up at 4 a.m. if he did, because I have to go to work. He asked me why he couldn't stay and sleep in until I got off. I explained the request from my parents again, and he got angry. He said that he felt hurt that he didn't get a say in any of these guidelines before I moved out, and he feels excluded. This is where I could be the asshole. I told him that he did not contribute to me buying my home, and his name is not on the title, so I have a hard time grasping why he would feel that he would get any say in what happens in my home. I more politely added that I don't tell him what he can and can't allow in his own home. I also want to add for context, I have expressed many times that I don't believe in moving in with a man unless I'm engaged to him. NTA, don't move in with a man ever. At least you'll have the security of a home. As for your boyfriend, he's being out of place. I'm sure he already knew the rules of your home and expected you to break it. Break that one, and then he'll simply move himself in. I personally wouldn't stay in a relationship like that, already wanting a say in something that doesn't concern him as though he has a right. No way. Story 3 by Cinnamon Love 12. AITA for not allowing my boyfriend's friend to wear the necklace he gave me. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years, and we recently celebrated our anniversary. He got me a really beautiful necklace that has both our birthstones and our cat. I've been obsessed with it since he gave me it, and I've been wearing it everywhere I can. His family throws monthly get-togethers. We normally miss them, since they aren't the nicest people to me, but he had promised them he'd come this since it was his little sister's birthday. He told me I didn't have to go, but I felt a little bad if I let him deal with them alone, so I decided to come along too. The get-together was fine until his friend, well more like ex-friend, came up to me and started gushing over my necklace. I would have taken it as a normal compliment if I didn't know how this girl was. She has been in love with my boyfriend since they were teens, and apparently she has yet to let it go. My boyfriend saw how she was annoying me and took me away to get some more food, and when we came back, she came right back up to me and begged me to let her try on the necklace. What possessed her to even ask that is beyond me, but I politely declined and told her I wasn't comfortable with her doing that. She kept on pleading and telling me how she just wanted to see how it would look on her. I snapped at her, telling her she was pushing my boundaries, and said, "For the love of God, please stop asking." She got upset and looked a bit teary-eyed. She went to the other room, dragging my boyfriend's little sister with her, and I could tell they were ranting about me. My boyfriend's mom pulled me aside and said I was being unreasonable, and if I had a heart in me, I would have just let the poor girl try it on. I walked away from her to go get my boyfriend so we could leave, because I was seconds away from losing it, and I heard a couple of his family members talking about how much of a bitch I am. My boyfriend has been reassuring that I was completely right for how I acted, and his ex-friend needed to let it go, but I still can't help but feel upset about it. I don't know if she was necessarily aware of the context of the necklace, or that my boyfriend gave it to me, but I thought it was pretty obvious. I also did somewhat cause a scene at his sister's party, so that's making me feel like I'm wrong as well. NTA, good on you for standing your ground. Let her try it, then she loses it, and make excuses on how she lost it. If anything, she sounds obsessed with your boyfriend, and the fact that she's close to his family says a lot. She's going to find ways to make them dislike you even more, and unless they see the type of person she really is, it's not going to end well. You need to ask yourself, is that something you want to deal with for the rest of your life before you go any further with this guy? Story 4 by Throwaway 3636237. AITA 4, kicking my girlfriend out of my room because my son had a migraine. My son, an only child, has struggled with migraine since he was about 6. He just turned 13 2 weeks ago. Every time he gets one, which isn't very often now, we have the same routine. He soaks in the tub with the lights off while I throw a pair of underwear in the dryer. Once he gets out, I give him a warm or cold cloth, depending on what he wants, and he'll get into my bed. He likes being close to me whenever these happen, and I'll massage his head until he falls asleep. The other night, he started to get a migraine. When he was in the bath, I told my girlfriend, who was staying the night, that he sleeps with me whenever these happen. I told her politely that if she didn't feel comfortable, then she would have to leave. His bed is too small to fit both of us, so that wasn't really an option. She decided that she would go home, but was upset about it. He was still feeling bad the next day, so I called her and let her know that he'd probably still be sleeping with me tonight, and that I would be in between them the entire time. She said no, and that she didn't feel comfortable sharing a bed with a teenager. I said that was completely fine, and I'll call her whenever he was feeling better. Around 5 to 6 that night, he was way better and out of bed. I called her to let her know, but she just seemed upset, like I could tell something was off. When I asked her, she got sniffly and told me it hurt her feelings that I kicked her out. Now, she's been in awful relationships before, and she said I'm the best one she's ever had, so I sort of get being upset easily. But at the same time, I gave her an option to stay or go. AITA? No. NTA. She's just being a bit too emotional, and I'm sure she understands. She may have really been looking forward to spending the night with you, and was disappointed at the outcome. No need to think too much about it. Story 5 by Reasonable Matter 724. AITA 4, letting my girlfriend drive alone and scaring her sister. Disclaimers: don't live in the U.S. English is not my first language. Throwaway account. Some relevant background info. My GF 30 doesn't like driving and doesn't have a car. She owns a flat in the city center on a street blocked off for cars. You have to walk 500 m from the nearest street with cars, and parking is impossible in at least 2 kilometers radius. She also comes from a wealthy family. Her sister lives with her BF. I come from lower class family, but have worked my way up to middle class with hard work and scholarship. I think that could explain my GF's family's attitude towards me, because I haven't done anything to them or ever even been rude to them. I'm moving in with my GF, and on the way my car, which was packed with basically everything I own, broke down. Long story short, I put my car with the nearest mechanic, was told it would take several days, and stepped outside with everything I own in IKEA bag. My family lives far, and I don't have any friends in that area. So I called my GF and asked if she knew someone who could help, because the alternative was paying for a really long taxi ride. She borrowed her mother's car and told me she was on her way. She drove to get me and back home, for which I'm incredibly grateful. She tried calling her sister to ask if they could help us get my stuff up, but she didn't answer. When we got there and still had no answer, we could either take the car to my GF's mother together and try squeezing my things in the taxi. She could have dropped me off and waited in a no parking spot for 20 to 30 minutes, dropped me off, and circled around until I'd be back, or let me out with everything I have, drive alone to her mother to give her the car back, and get home with the subway. At least those were all the options we came up with at that time. We decided she'd drop me off with everything and drive to give the car back alone. It was a really slow and long walk because I had a lot of stuff and it was heavy, but I managed to get into the building. The moment I tried to get into the apartment though, I was blocked by my GF sister and her BF shouting at me, asking what I'd done to my GF and where she was. Apparently, they saw she'd called and tried calling her back, but she wasn't answering. She was driving. They didn't let me get a word in, said they knew I was no good from day one, threatened me with the police, and slammed the door in my face. I spent a lot of really awkward time waiting outside of the door with my bag. My GF finally came home, and when she heard what happened, she got into a shouting match with her sister, reminding her she lived there rent-free. Her sister retorted saying she was trying to look out for her and that she should dump me because no man should let his GF drive alone at night. Things are pretty tense right now. Her whole family hates me, and I'd like to fix this situation, but I have no idea how. NTA, don't bother trying to fix that situation. It's a waste of time. It's like trying to cross the ocean with a boat made of paper. You can't fix stupidity and ignorance. Her sister wasn't worried. That was simply her ignorance showing. And as for her boyfriend, well, I guess that's why they're together. They had no right to keep you out, and your girlfriend should put them out and go LC or NC with them. What a bunch of toxic idiots. Lead your life the best you can with your girl, and don't bother trying to make nice with toxic waste. It's not worth it.